If you ever watch one of my videos, you know that I call a spade every time. So I just wanted to come and give my take on this whole R. Kelly thing. I listened to that 19-minute song, and I think it was a mistake for him to make that song. I think he made the song to create more controversy, stir up more controversy. I'm sure he has an album coming out, especially the title that he named these songs. I admit, after listening to this song, I listened to the whole 19 minutes of it. It's a big ass pity party. I might not like some of the things that R. Kelly has done, but I am a fan of his music. It's hard to not separate the two for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love music. I've always been a fan of his music. Not particularly a fan of what he did back in '99. Not particularly, not a fan at all. Although I don't have any daughters, I have 2 sons. I know what mindset I would be in had that happened to my child, my daughter. But this shit today that they talking about and everybody's talking up in arms about is just another example of it's another example of actually a couple of things. It's an example of how we feel like everything is owed to us for the rest of our lives. Go sit down, Kai, and hush. We feel everything is owed to us forever after we deal with people as black people, so much so that when something changes in our situation with a person, we want to try to destroy them and tear them down, because that's what's put out there to you. These avenues of how to tear somebody down who you feel has wronged you. Hence all of these stories coming out, once a relationship is over, how all of these stories come out about celebrities and stuff like that. Not saying that none of them are true, but just like I can't say that none of them are true, I can't say that all of them are true. You can't say that all of them are true. The basic fact of the matter is, it is human nature to be vengeful. To be vengeful and to want to get somebody back. And to want to do them 10 times worse than how they did you. Now, with all of that being said, let's talk about the story. If you have a disdain towards R. Kelly for what happened in '99, that is understandable. The guy was allegedly, or I'm gonna say allegedly, but we all know, allegedly on tape with an underage girl, or with a few underage girls.
Hey, baby.
And basically got to ride off in the sunset.
Hey.
What, son?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Look.
We know that story. But the shit that's going on today, and the shit that's going on, been going on for about a year, where they're saying that he's false and he's imprisoning these girls and this, that, and the third. Let me be clear when I say this. A lot of people will come out and say what something was after the fact. But let me be clear about this. Those ladies made that decision knowing the extent of what that situation was going to be. And no one volunteers for prison. No one volunteers for prison. They went in there knowing what the situation was going to be, knowing what it was, and didn't complain, and reaped all the benefits of it. And once they came out and they got out of that situation, Now they were imprisoned. So I want to be clear about that. This is the story that they're given. R. Kelly takes these women on dates, grooms them to be their pets. They come to live with him, and they have sexual escapades with him as well as each other. There's no captivity. There's no reports of violence. No reports of him beating women. No reports of anything malicious that he's doing. Just the fact that they come and they live in what they call a compound, and they are involved with R. Kelly to an extent, a sexual extent. These are the only stories that have come out. Now you tell me. Daddy. What, baby? Mama. What? Mama. Now you tell me what's different from that and Hugh Hefner. No, sir. Go play with your car. You tell me the difference between that and the life that Hugh Hefner lived for 50 years. 50-something years. And why is this man being persecuted for actually having the game to live this life? Much like the props that we give Hugh Hefner for being able to live that life. To have the game, to have several women that he's sleeping with and be married to one of them, and have several women that he's sleeping with all living in his house, in his digs, knowing about each other. You tell me what's the difference. There is no difference, except no one ever tried to tear down Playboy. Nobody ever boycotted Playboy because of it. However, you want to boycott this nigga's music. You want other label mates are coming out saying, I want him dropped off the label. But nobody came at Hugh about that. Like I said, I understand if you have a problem with what he did almost 20 years ago. I understand that. But that shit is done and gone. And even the government didn't do anything about it. Now this shit right here, these are grown women who are making conscious decisions to go into that lifestyle. And once they made that decision to go into that lifestyle, you cannot then come back and punish a man for a decision that they made. The punishment should be all on these women. And y'all want to give credence to the stuff that they say because you want a story. But there's no story here. There's no story. There's no story. They agreed to go into this lifestyle. And then when it was over, obviously, when it was over, and when he chooses to let one of them go, or whatever the case may be, and I don't mean let one of them go as in imprisonment, but I mean, I don't want to deal with you no more. It's no different than a relationship. So now all of a sudden, I need to try to get him back. That's how women live. That's what women do. That's what people do, really. But that's all I got, man. Y'all have a good day. Show off.